Okay, so today we continue with our laws of Shabbos, today class number 20, and we start with Sefer Chafetz Chaim, and page is, one second, why I'm not ready with the page number 85, Triple Tragedy. You want to read?
Sefer Chafetz Chaim, page 84?
85.
85, got it.
Triple Tragedy.
Yes. Okay. A triple tragedy. Tragedy. Midrash Shachar Tov Tehillim, chapter 55, verse 2 states, "It was taught in the academy of Rabbi Ishmael, whoever relates Lashon Hara commits grave sins which equal the three cardinal sins of idolatry, immorality, and murder. This can be deduced as follows. Regarding Lashon Hara, it is written, HaShem cut off all equivocating lips, the tongue which speaks haughty words. Regarding idolatry, it is written, I implore, this people has committed a great sin. Regarding immorality, it is written, how can I perpetrate the great evil? And regarding murder, it is written, is my sin too great to be borne? Thus, the plural form of Gadoilus. Got it. Is found only with regard to Lashon Hara. Alternatively, when someone commits murder, he kills a single soul, but one who speaks Lashon Hara destroys three. The subject of his words is the listener and himself. From where do we see this? From Doeg, who spoke Lashon Hara concerning Achimelech, and thereby destroyed Shaul, who accepted the report. Achimelech, about him who it was spoken, himself, Shaul, who accepted it, died because of it, as is written. Shaul died for the faithlessness with which he acted toward Hashem. Achimelech died because of it, for about him it was said by Shaul, die, you shall die, Achimelech. And Doeg was banished from the world to come, as is written, likewise God will shatter you for eternity. And what caused this? Lashon Hara.
Okay, so what is the summary? So when somebody speaks Lashon Hara, so three people are suffering. The one who speaks, about whom the object about whom he speaks, and the one who listens. Right, three people. So the example is Doeg. It's from Shmuel. So he spoke about David, something which was not true, right? But he manipulated the facts. Shaul believed it, and he killed the whole city of Kohanim, of Nov, and that's exactly what happened, right? So people suffer. Shaul was killed because of this, and Doeg lost his place in the Olam Haba. No more, no less. Okay. So let's start here. So let's go to where we left off. I think we are still on writing. So the lack of writing, so we said because of the writing, all of the business like activities are also prohibited, and one of them is giving gifts. So we start in page 20, giving gifts. It is forbidden to give. So because why? We said that because giving gifts it's a transaction, even though there is no money, but the essence is the same. The things being transferred from one person to another. Okay. From ownership on one to another. Okay. It is forbidden to give gifts on Shabbos, since the transfer of the ownership resembles a transaction. If it is forbidden, it is even forbidden for a husband to give gifts to his wife and a parent to give a gift to a child. There is dispute among the poskim as to whether the prohibition applies to giving gifts to a Gentile. Okay. There is, however, one exception to the prohibition. It is permitted to give gifts on Shabbos to enable the recipient to perform a mitzvah. Okay, so that's some things as we say. Okay, so let's see. To illustrate, the mitzvah of tzitzis required that the person wears his own garment that has tzitzit attached. Thus, a guest who comes to a synagogue has no talus, right? His fellow may grant him a spare talus as a gift, right? On the condition that he returns it, thereby enabling him to properly fulfill this mitzvah of wearing it. So here we're talking about this guy's personal talus, as we learned in the Kitzur. So when they buy talasim for a shul, they buy for everybody. So with intention that whoever comes, this talus belongs to him for the duration of the prayer. So in this case, so everybody can say blessing. Okay. See what happened. Okay, we continue. Okay. Furthermore, some poskim rule that it is permitted to give someone a gift in order to encourage the recipient to do a mitzvah. Thus, a parent may promise a child on Shabbos that if he learns well, he will be rewarded with a gift. Okay.
Wait, I have one question. So, at the start it says, since the transfer of ownership resembles a transaction. So does that mean that the only reason gifts can't be given is because it looks like it could be Hilul Hashem?
No, not Hilul Hashem, Michal Shabbos. Yeah. So it's like a transaction.
Got it. But let's say it's completely in private where nobody else can see it and the two people know. Then can you?
It's still not allowed because maybe that person is going to learn.
Got it.
Or maybe he's going to say, you know when I got it, I just got it today Shabbos. That David gave me. Yeah, David knows for sure. Yeah, if it would not be allowed, he would not do it. That's it. So yeah, we're not playing with just because you're alone and you cannot rely on it. Okay. Furthermore, some poskim rule, as we said, so you can promise the gift to a child on Shabbos, so as a reward, as a gift. Okay, and parent may give the gift on Shabbos. So it's like an exception. So it's like a mitzvah. So it's for mitzvah purpose. So the child will learn. So you can offer, like promise him a gift. Okay, continue. Permissible methods of giving gifts on Shabbos. Even when a gift is not needed for a purpose of the mitzvah, it can be awarded if the transfer of ownership does not take place on Shabbos. This can be accomplished in one of the two ways. So basically, he transferred the ownership before Shabbos, but actual physical gift is given on Shabbos. That's the rationale. Number one, donor should have should hand the gift to the third party who is not a member of his own household before Shabbos, and have that party lift 3 tefachim from the ground with intention to acquire it on the behalf of the recipient. We're going to explain what does it mean. The recipient automatically acquires possession at that time, although unaware of the fact. The donor may then retrieve the article from the third party and hand it to recipient who already owns it on Shabbos. Okay, so here's his situation. So we have this halacha that you can be, any Jew can be agent for another Jew, especially for good things. For bad things, no, right? So for bad things, we're going to learn it's not the case. But for example, if I know that you're going to benefit from something, right? So I can do it on your behalf, and even if you don't know, it's still yours. I found, I don't know, whatever. Somebody gave me books, for example, right? Somebody gave me the set of Rashi that you're supposed to get today, Zrat HaShem. So and I said, yeah, I want it. I want it. Somebody, let's say, who wants it? I said, I want it, and I picked it up for you. So if 3 tefachim is like like 18 inches. So like 18 inches you picked up from the ground, from the table, right, from the desk. So, and as it's a form of acquisition, and that's how you acquire things physically. So I picked it up, and those things are yours because I'm doing it for your benefit, and I know that you're going to like it. You understand? So this not family member, right? So he comes to this guy. He picks it up on before Shabbos. So as soon as he picks it up, so that person, like recipient of the gift, already acquired it. So he's an agent for that recipient. So he can put it down, no problem, and he can appoint me as the agent to give it to you on Shabbos. So there is no problem. I just like it's the same as you left things in my house like on Thursday, and I brought it to you on Shabbos. There is no problem. I just return you things that you need. Okay, so that's the first solution. Okay, let me see if I miss something. I might. No, okay, that's okay. So basically, this guy, the recipient, is already an owner, even without knowing. If you want to do the surprise, if you want to do even without surprise, so he even knows like it is his. I got your things, so I'm going to give it to you on Shabbos. So okay. Okay, number two, scenario number two. One may hand a gift to its intended recipient on Shabbos with instruction that the recipient bear in mind not to take title until after Shabbos. So you can give it to him. So basically, the way I understand this, you appoint this guy as a guardian of that object, of that gift, and he can take and he's going to be owner, official only after Shabbos. So as a guardian, can he use the gift as a guardian? I'm not sure. I would say maybe. Okay. So okay. So C, relinquishing ownership hefker. Right, as we said. So you take something outside. They say it's hefker. Who wants to take it can take it. According to the money scheme, it is forbidden to declare something hefker, that is ownerless, on Shabbos, since the formal relinquishment of the ownership is tantamount to a transfer of the ownership. So it is, if you think about it, this hefker is also a transaction, right? So I have this chair that I don't need. I put it on a sidewalk, and I said it is whoever wants to take it can take it. You understand? So, yeah, go ahead.
So basically, you say he can't say it's ownerless, but if you put something outside, like a chair, for example, and nobody knows who the owner is, isn't it already ownerless without you saying it?
If it's in a place, okay, it's a good question. So let's say if you put it next to your garbage cans, right, on a day of a collection of the garbage, so everybody knows that you're the one. Yes, that's correct. But let's say I can do it any day. So there is a garbage collection only on Tuesday. So I can put it up on Friday and say whoever wants it can take it.
Got it.
And in that case, even the first guy did not acquire it. No, 1 second. So you say if somebody put it on next to the garbage bins. So this if
if someone puts it outside.
Yeah.
If someone puts it outside where nobody can trace it back to the owner.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't have to.
That doesn't matter. He can trace it or not trace it. I mean, it's his intention is obvious. He doesn't want it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Or in a place where the owner can't get it anymore or something like that, he does not have to declare it ownerless. So what's the point of saying what's the point of even saying that? Oh, it's ownerless.
No, okay. Here we're talking about only Shabbos only. So so the guy wants to take something out on Shabbos day itself, and say it's ownerless. Who wants to take it can take. Let's say there are even non-Jews around.
Uh-huh.
It's not necessarily like only Jews can take it, right?
Right.
But non-Jews can take it. So the question is, we're going to read, but the question is like it looks like it's a transaction, even though he does not get any money, but he like same when you go to the store, right? You pay money, you get merchandise, right? Or if this guy said, you know what, today is free coffee, right? So give you free coffee, so you not get you didn't pay any money, but you get something, like that's transaction. You understand? So he has also transaction. He gives up something. So can you do it on Shabbos? That's okay. So let's continue reading, and we're going to discuss. Okay. So this. So one more time from the beginning. According to many poskim, so not everybody agree, but many poskim, it is forbidden to declare something hefker that is ownerless on Shabbos, since the formal relinquishment of the ownership is tantamount to the transfer of the ownership. Nevertheless, one is permitted to throw something out in a street within the area enclosed by the Eruv, even though the object is automatically becomes hefker. That's exactly your question, right? Moreover, for the sake of the mitzvah, it is permitted even to formally declare something hefker. Thus, on Erev Pesach, so that's practical application, right? Erev Pesach falls on Shabbos, it is permitted to nullify one's chometz to declare its hefker. So let's try to understand. So first of all, so many poskim say it looks like a transaction. Then they say, in other words, one is permitted to put something on a street within an enclosed area. So basically, same like I'm not sure why would you do it on Shabbos. I never put anything out on Shabbos, never ever. Like even garbage, you can close the garbage and you can do it after Shabbos. There is no like actual need. So, but they say if needed for whatever reason, if needed, so you can put it outside. If of course if aeroplane you can carry, right? And then the example that they give, right, that you can declare hefker when we have chometz on erev Shabbos. On Shabbos you have erev Pesach. So meaning the Pesach starts on right after Shabbos. So there is a mitzvah to eat bread on Shabbos, even though the tonight is a Pesach. So basically, you cannot sell because for sure it's too late to sell, and we don't sell to the non-Jew on Shabbos. That's understandable. But you can declare it hefker, meaning nobody's. You understand? That's allowed because like you have no choice. So and after that you're going to take it out and stuff like that. So basically there is bread or cookies, whatever in your house left. So the proper way to destroy it. But let's say he did not. Let's say it was too much to destroy it, like he could not have time. So he declares it hefker and then throws out. That's it. So it's not mine. Okay, number 3. Yeah, go ahead.
So actually, let's say the exact opposite happens, just as an example. So let's say you did throw something out, but then someone and it looks ownerless. Okay, it looks ownerless, but then a person comes and asks, "Is this yours?" Okay. Now you declared it ownerless, but when that person asks it, you think, "Oh, I want it back." Okay. So that's relinquishing property. Are you allowed to?
Yes.
Is that allowed?
So, you're talking about Shabbos or are we talking about general? Shabbos, no, it's not allowed. According to many poskim, it's not allowed. It's transaction. So once you said it's hefker, that's the thing. Anybody can take it. You as you have the same rights and as another person, even though it's on your territory. Right? For example, it's public territory. Anybody can come close to your garbage cans, right? I mean, like let's say it's shared place, right? So the person from second floor from neighbor can come. There is no problem. So once you relinquish ownership, everybody has the same rights. You don't have more rights than your neighbor.
So let me ask it technically. So let's say, you think I don't want this object anymore, okay? But then that person asks, is it yours? And then you change your mind and you say, yes, it's yours. So you lied, okay? You get an avera for lying. Sure.
No. What's up? There's no avera. If you said it is yours, that means that you got it back.
But you didn't want it and you didn't take it into your possession. At the start, you didn't want it, and it was hefker, it was ownerless, okay? And you didn't take it back into your possession. So that means it is ownerless, but then you thought, oh, I actually want it back. So to take it back, you have to bring it into your possession.
Correct, yes.
But that person thinks that you never threw it, to the side for no reason. So you lied, and he still thinks it's yours. So he doesn't think he's doing a transaction. He still gives it to you. So does that count as a trend? Does that count as an avera for this? Because one of them doesn't think of it as a transaction.
So one second. Let me understand your example. So for example, I put a small let's say chair outside.
Yeah.
And I say to myself, it is Kafka. I don't need it. It's broken.
Yeah. Yes.
And then the guy comes, a neighbor comes, and says, "Is it yours?"
Yes. And then
And then one second. I'm trying to tell to repeat what you said, and you correct me, right? And then then you thought in your head, okay, you know what? Maybe I can fix it. Where's the problem? Maybe I'll buy some things like $2 is going to cost me. I'm going to fix it. This $200 share. Why would I throw it out? Right. Yes. So you said, yeah, it's mine. He said, so do you want it? Should it stay? It's going to rain soon, right? It's going to fall. And say, yeah. I'm going to take it home. And this guy picks it up. Let's say this $3 and gives it to you. Yeah. So your question, if I understand correctly, if not, correct me. So by him picking it up, right? So and give it to you, did he become owner or not? That's the question. Or not?
So this at the very end, does it count as an avera, since he thinks he's giving you back your property, yes. not because he picked it up, correct? So he thought it was your property.
Yes.
Then gave it to you. But you know that the chair was ownerless. He picked it up, made it his possession.
No. He did not. Okay, I got it. So here's the one thing: when you pick it up, you have to have intention that as we discussed with the gift, I pick it up for you. For example, you're not there. I can pick up things for you, or I can pick up things for myself.
Okay, but even
if I just pick up, one second, let me just finish quickly. So, but if you just picked up, it means absolutely zero. This guy picked up and give it to you. He gives you that does a favor to you. In his head, he just does little favor to you. You can get it yourself. It's only 15 feet away from you. There is no problem.
I understand. We can even work with that example. So let's say, since he picked it up, before he picked it up, it was ownerless, okay? But then since he picked it up, it became his property.
No. You said I wanted. No, it's mine. You said as soon as you said it's mine. It's a beginning of the acquisition process.
Exactly. It's a beginning of a transaction. Correct.
Yes. Correct. Yes.
Yes, but that person who picked it up thought that it was always the other person's property.
Correct. Yes.
So does it count as
a transaction?
Yes.
100%. Yes. 100%.
But does he get the? Does it?
No. For him, there is no. Let's say there is an eruv. Right? So he can carry, and you left chairs outside. I don't know. Let's say you have porch, and then the rain start, and you want to bring them inside the house. There is no problem. You can carry.
Yes, but the problem.
You can ask for example, you can ask your neighbor, can you please help me to carry chair inside for my porch? It starts raining. They're going to get ruined. There is no problem. He does not know. For him, it's your chair. Like he did not know what happened before.
Mm-hmm. But for you, it's still an avera, correct?
Yes. Yeah. According, as you said, many poskim said that there is a transaction.
Mm-hmm.
So once you relinquish the ownership, once you declare it's hefker, it's not yours.
Huh.
It's not your completely. Anybody can take it.
Understood. Because going back where it said giving gifts, so the main problem was resembles. Now that person who's giving it to you, to him, he thinks he's just giving you back your property. So it doesn't resemble a transaction in his mind. That's why.
Yes.
Exactly. So the actual avera is that it resembles, even if it's not a hilul Hashem, but resembles means from the outside look. Then, for example,
for two people in case of the gift, so this guy gives you a gift, so it was in his possession, it was his, now it is yours.
mm-hmm.
But in a second, your example with a chair, this guy he never thought that it's in his possession.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So it's not exactly the same cases.
So going when I asked you about the giving gifts, then I asked, what if two people were in a room together? Then I gave him something. So you said it might still be an avera because to the other person it might resemble a transaction.
Yes.
But so the problem is the other person. But to this other person, it doesn't resemble a transaction. It resembles that I'm giving you back your property. You understand? But to you, it's a transaction. But to nobody else, it resembles it. So that person, your chair, when you get it back, it does not. It is not an avera because somebody else resembles it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
He just give doing a favor for you. That's it. There's no transaction in his head.
But I'm saying that to you, the owner of the chair, there's no avera as well. That's what I'm saying.
Why is that? No. He's exact that you get an ownership of something that was hefker. Like it was not yours. It was not yours after you declared it hefker, and now you taking possession of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's transaction 100%.
Going back to the giving gifts where it says resembles. So resembles means even if you have the right intention of it to be giving a gift, the other person might view it as a transaction. That's the problem. But in this case, the other person doesn't view it as a transaction. Even though you do, the other person doesn't, so it doesn't resemble a transaction, so why do you get the avera?
So let's go back to the gifts. Resemble it a transaction means transaction when it comes from possession of one person to another person. But transaction, when we usually say transaction, we mean we also mostly we mean with money. I'm going to pay transaction, right? So when you get in something for free, it's not exactly a transaction technically, but logistic are the same. It was in one person possession, it went to in another person possession. He paid, he did not pay, so that's why it says resemble transaction. It's not transaction. Transaction usually, when we say transaction, means with money.
Got it. Okay.
So that's why it says resembles, not because one person think this or that.
But it's still, even though it's not a transaction, it's still a change of ownership, correct?
Correct, 100%.
Exactly. So
that's what it says. It resembles transaction, but transaction usually comes with money. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing is, as we said before, let's say two people in a room, if let's say it's two rabbis who know what they're doing, then I'm pretty sure the leniency is allowed because one knows, okay, this and this. Nobody's going to take it as something else. Nobody's going to think of it as a transaction. So nobody resembles it that way. But so we can do the same thing in the other scenario. Let's say someone gives you back your property.
So one second. Let's finish with these two rabbis. Let's go back to this.
Yes.
So it looks something like to one of them, it might look something improper. Like what is he doing? I'll tell you why. So if it says in the book like many poskim, many look it's improper, why would you go against this many?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So we're not trying to see if somebody is would allow it. You'll find somebody to rely on. That's for sure. So why, if he's a big rabbi he's supposed to be, not everybody, but it's supposed to be God-fearing person. God-fearing person would not put himself in situation of the risk. Maybe the one who said it's not allowed is right. Why would I risk it?
Well, let's say it's dangerous circumstances and he needs the leniency, so he needs to follow the...
Yeah. If leniency, if as we said, there are exception. If this item needs for Shabbos, for a mitzvah, there is no problem. We said that there is a leniency, yes.
Actually, okay, so I'll give you, let's say, many authorities. So let's say the two authorities from the other side who say it is allowed, okay? If those two people do it, then there's no problem because they're going by their own ruling, what they think is right, okay? So then it's okay because to them, it doesn't resemble a transaction because both of them know the halacha, and they both know it's a gift, okay?
Exactly. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So nobody's going to take it the wrong way.
Okay.
Now, in this case, that person who's giving you the chair that he thinks is yours, he doesn't think he's giving you a gift. He thinks he's giving you back your property.
Yes.
So it does not resemble an avera. So the person who actually gets it, the person who gets the property that he said isn't his, he does not get the avera because it does not resemble a transaction to the other person.
No, the other person has nothing to do with that. So the transaction can be with somebody else, or transaction can be just by yourself. Like it is Kafka, and you picked it up, so it was nobody's, and now it is yours. That's the transaction. So it was so it was transferred from nobody's property to your property to your domain. So now it is yours. So forget about the other person. Yeah, but
so we can answer this question very simply. I'll give you this example. Let's say it's not an avera if both people know that it's a gift and not a transaction.
But okay, you're right. But since there is a stronger other opinion, we try not to do it unless it is very needed for Shabbos, or let's say the second rabbi is flying to Israel Motzi Shabbos, so that the first is not going to see him. That's it for the next 3 years. So now it's and he needs it and stuff like that. So in this case, you can. I would say do it from employ one of these other methods that they say.
Exactly. So I'm talking about even the many authorities. The many authorities say that it's a problem because it resembles. So that means the many authorities would agree that it's not a problem if it does not resemble it. When does it not resemble it? When both people know that it's a gift. Resembles means
resemble mean to the onlooker, so somebody from outside.
Exactly. So I'm saying
I understand you say that they in a closed room, but we don't do these exceptions because once you start doing these exceptions, so the simple people like laymen, they would do all of the mistakes possible. So rabbis try to do like one halacha, and there is some exception in a case of need. You understand? Otherwise, not everybody is alone in deep inside, and you and I. You understand? So unless you learn deep inside and you know all of these intricate details, guarantee you're going to make it. Guarantee, not you, but anybody. So they say it looks like transaction. It is transaction. Okay. Even though you're right 100%, everything that you said 100% right, but still halacha, they say it looks like, and people from outside they would not understand. They would think this or that. Don't do it.
Got it. So if it's two great rabbis, then that's a different story. But if it's you and if it's me and someone else, then it's a different thing.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Or he can say, they even it was can slip his mouth. He went to Israel with this gift and said, this my dear friend from Brooklyn, this rabbi so and so giving on Shabbos.
Got it.
People, what he gave on Shabbos? And that's it. One word is enough to confuse everybody. You understand? So our sages with a great wisdom say, you know what, let's not play with fire.
Got it.
That's yeah, that's okay, but good questions. Very nice discussion. Okay. So we finished with Hefker. So part number 3, measuring and weighing. The sages prohibited all forms of measuring and weighing on Shabbos, whether for commercial or personal purposes. Measuring and weighing that is for commercial nature falls under the previously mentioned prohibition against engaging in business transaction. That's we got right. We said don't you cannot say give me $5 worth of apples, right? So you say give me 7 apples, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
going back to the apples. So let's say, but what if you're measuring to put food on the Shabbos table? Is that a different thing?
But how it's not precise. This measurement. So you say, okay, you know what? 7 people are coming. So you use 7 portions, but you don't know like how much do they weigh. First of all, you do not care how much. But there, when transaction, so that owner of the merchant, he wants to be paid for every ounce. He does not want to lose.
Got it.
But when you give to guests, it's a separate story. Okay, you usually don't measure. So, and I'm not talking about sick person. So sick person or a child that needs to have this all this combination of foods, and it must be measured. So that's a different story. We're not talking about that. We're talking about regular people. So commercial nature, okay, so falls under business transaction. Okay, that's clear. Although the transaction is not yet concluded, right? The sages forbid the measuring and weighing itself. So that's you see, as maybe it's all come like now it's coming all coming together, right? So they say it's only beginning of the transaction. Only beginning of transaction, like this guy with the chair. He only brings me the chair. Now I'm going to lift it up and take possession of it, right? So they say transaction doesn't yet concluded. The sages forbid the measuring and weight itself. Measuring and weighing for a personal purposes is forbidden because they fall under the category of weekly activity. Right? Weekly activity. Commentary. The weekly activity is a category that includes 3 types of activity. A, activities that resemble melacha. So it's only resemble, right? Okay. Resemble melacha. B, activities that might lead to melacha. And C, activities that detract from the holy and elevate aura of Shabbos. So all of these not Torah related discussions would fall out under C, right? Activity that detracts from holy of Shabbos, right? Or let's say exercising, like a person wants to take a walk to lose some weight, like okay, so that would not be allowed. Okay, so continue. So we are measuring and weighing. Let's see what time. Scope of the prohibition. It is prohibited to measure or weigh with a specialized instruments such as ruler, tape measure, or scale, as well with a non-specialized object such as stick of a certain length or a stone of a certain weight. Right. So let's see commentary, and we're going to expand. Specialized measurement instruments are muktzah under category kli shalamach le'isur, utensil prohibited use. Okay. So let's see. So when we say measuring means when you're trying to be precise, right? With a tape measure, with a ruler, right? Or you know that this, for example, I'll give you this example. You know that this clean sheet of paper is like 11 inches, 11 by 9. Let's say, I don't remember exactly, but let's say. So even if you measure with this, so it's 100% measurement. So, right? Or you know that your book is 9 inches long. So you can measure how many books in this table for whatever reason. So it would be forbidden.
What if, remember how we talked about tzitzis, where the fringes is like, let's say, the the joint of a thumb, correct?
Yes.
Now, let's say we're not talking about tzitzis, something not related for a mitzvah, but you still count like that. Let's say you take
Yes.
you don't know the actual measurement, but you still go by that or by, the thumb. Does that count as measurement?
It is counted as measurement, but for a mitzvah it would be allowed.
Mm-hmm.
For measurement for a mitzvah is allowed. So in case of the tzitzis, it would be allowed to measure. Can I make blessing or I cannot make blessing? And am I allowed to wear or not? I'm not allowed to wear.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's okay. It is forbidden to measure without using to measure without using instruments. For example, to measure size of the room by counting paces or tiles. So if you look at the tiles and it's foot by foot, so you can measure how many tiles, count how many tiles. Okay. So continue. So it's all precise management. The prohibition pertaining to the measuring for business purposes or personal purposes, including preparation of food. Thus, it is forbidden, except in the case of illness, see below, to weight food on the kitchen scale. So we're not talking electronic scales, it's out of the question. Regular, mechanical scale, right? To determine the proper site of serving, or to dole out the ingredients for a recipe in precise amount with a measuring cup. So measuring cup is also very precise. We cannot use it. Okay. However, one may use the measuring cup to pour ingredients if one does not measure them precisely, but utilizing the cup merely for approximation. So I mean, if something like you can take it, scoop it with a cup, and pour whatever. That's not measurement. That's just something that you use. It is similarly forbidden to weigh oneself or measure one's height, and it is forbidden to hang a thermometer outdoors in order to determine temperature. Okay, so all of these things are forbidden. Okay, so because of the measurement. Okay, because the whole measurement, that's what we do for business activities. Okay. B, exclusion to the prohibition. Measuring for the sake of the mitzvah, what you asked. The sages did not prohibit measuring for or weighing when it is needed for the sake of performing mitzvah. Thus, it is permitted to measure cup to determine whether it can hold the sufficient amount wine for kiddush, and to weight a measure of matzah, determine the proper amount to eat on the seder. So, for example, you got a new cup, like kiddush cup, and you know some. Of course, it's proper to measure all of these things before Shabbos. That's of course. But let's say he did not, and let's say he can only drink the minimum of the minimum. That's all, like for whatever medical reasons. So in this case, we would allow him to agree. Let's say he has this measuring cup. So with this measuring cup, so that he can measure this kiddush cup. Okay. Likewise, it is permitted to measure the distance of 2,000 amos. For one is permitted to walk from the outskirts of the town on Shabbos. So that's we didn't learn about it, but this is one halacha. So you can walk only like when your town ends. So inside of the town you can walk, right? But from the outskirts of the town, you can walk only 2,000 amos, which is approximately like 0.6 miles. So when town ends, so you cannot. So I think the Brooklyn Bridge, if I'm not mistaken, is less than 0.6 miles. So basically, people from Brooklyn can go to Manhattan during Shabbat. But Washington Bridge, I think it's longer. Some people cross, but there is a special procedure what you can do. You can leave some food in there. Okay, so continue. Number 2, cases of illness. Measuring for a benefit of ill person is considered mitzvah and permitted. Thus, it is permitted to measure a precise dose of medicine, right? Let's say this person needs 10 drops or whatever, like, I don't know, or precise portions of food, right? When a patient's condition requires this. So if doctor tells you give him like, I don't know, whatever, so much of this and that, so that's what you could do, no problem. Similarly, although taking a person's temperature or blood pressure is a form of measuring, It is permitted when it's necessary to determine whether one is ill or determine the extent of one illness. So we're talking about, I guess, persons whose life may be in danger, right? Maybe. So continue. If his life is in danger, for sure you can do it. There is no question about it. Continue. When it is necessary to take a person's temperature on Shabbos, one should use ordinary mercury thermometer. The tip may be dipped in a petroleum jelly, if necessary. The thermometer may be shaken down before its use, but should not shaken down afterwards. So, meaning what? Meaning let's say if it shows like a temperature from the time before. So now, if you try to measure temperature, you would not know what's the correct temperature. So you can shake it down and then use it, but after that you cannot shake down again because it's like preparation for the weekday activities. One should avoid using thermometer strip that placed on the forehead and upon which the numbers become visible. So like on the forehead, unless no mercury thermometer is available. So it's like second best option. So the first option is a mercury thermometer. Second is a strip. And in the case if somebody is, okay, they're going to say. So digital thermometer may not be used at all on Shabbos, except of course a life-threatening situation. So if you just don't feel a little well, so you cannot use this digital one. An infant regarding like an ill person, one is therefore permitted to weigh the measure food or liquid for an infant, even with a special measuring spoon. So okay, so basically just so this infant. So I think children up to maybe, if I'm not mistaken, until 3 or 4 years old, or maybe 5. I don't remember exactly, but maybe I would say three for sure. Right, so they are in category of person whose life is in danger always, right? So that's like exception that we can do for them. Continue. A healthy person is on a weight reduction diet, may not measure precise portions on Shabbos. Okay, that's a given. Okay, and the last one, and we stop. Issuing the judicial ruling. It is forbidden for a court of law, meaning Beis Din, or any other authorized body, such as arbitration board, to render decision on Shabbos, since this is lead the members of the court to commit their decision in writing. So always when we come to Beis Din and there is a writing, so you can ask them for a write-up, right? So they have to explain, like they have to write all of the situation and how they got to decision that they got to. Okay, so we stop here.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל אשר יפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכרו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה. איפה הוא גר? בפלורידה. פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה. במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית. קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.